Welcome back to Lamaku Challenge 6. So you might be wondering, why are we focusing on orientation now? We haven't even really built anything in Lamaku. Well, an orientation is the first area of content your students are going to see when they log into your course. And if you don't have an orientation or a start here or get started module, whatever you call it, perhaps consider making one. It's going to be especially important this term as everyone is shifting over from La Lima to Lamaku. Both you, but also your students, are going to have just an extra set of questions about where things are located and how to do things. So the orientation module will be all the more important this semester as we move into Lamaku. So for this challenge, we're going to take a look at some of the components of your orientation. The first thing to note is that all Lamaku courses are now going to be automatically published by ITS 5 days before the actual course term starts. This is a best practice and is done to ensure student success. Students will have those extra days to look over the course, review your syllabus, go through your orientation, see if the course is a good fit for them. Unlike La Lima and unlike past terms, faculty will not have the ability to turn on or off or make active their course when they wish. All courses in Lamaku are going to be published 5 days in advance of the start of the term. So, given this, your orientation materials should be ready. If you need to keep working on additional modules and course content, awesome. But if anything, make sure you have your orientation materials in place within 5 days before the start of the term. Secondly, a key bit of information that sometimes gets overlooked is updating your syllabus with all Lamaku references to replace the La Lima references. This might include mention of using Lamaku as a learning management system at UH, but it also might include areas where you talk about how to turn in assignments and activities. So you want to make sure that you go through your syllabus and add any additional information that might be needed about Lamaku there for your students. Now, when it's time to actually access your course, posting both a welcome announcement and providing a course tour are two great ways to launch a course, and especially in this case, launch a new learning management system. It's actually best practice to send out the welcome letter several weeks in advance just to remind students that the new term is going to be starting soon. But you cannot send out content from Lamaku until the course is activated, meaning if you post an announcement, for an example, in Lamaku, but the course has not yet been activated, students will not receive the announcement. The best idea is to email your welcome letter several weeks in advance to students, and then once the course goes live 5 days before the start of the course term, have a second welcome announcement that lets students know that the course is now available to look at in Lamaku. In terms of the course tour, it doesn't have to be super fancy. There are various ways you can record a course tour. So if you're interested but a little nervous, just check in with your campus instructional designer and they can walk you through some options. And again, this is going to be especially important for students with this new learning management system. One of the reasons why DTL Brightspace Lamaku was selected is because of the navigational consistency. However, each course is still going to look a little different, so it's always a good idea to provide a course tour for your students, walking them around the course and showing them where important course information is located. And lastly, similar to redoing your syllabus, we hope you will update your Lamaku course with the Lamaku and IT help that students might need. However, it's also a best practice to actually put the videos and or webpage links from the LMS how-to in your course. If students are doing a discussion, for example, putting any relevant how-to information about discussions in the discussion while students are doing that activity versus making them go out and search for it. The rationale being, if students have to divert their attention away from your coursework, they might not be able to find the content they're looking for, and they might get frustrated. So not knowing how to do something might be a roadblock that prevents them from successfully completing the course activity. So here's an example of how frustrating it might be to find help. If I wanted to go to the Brightspace information, I would click on Brightspace Community. Then I would have to go up to documentation and over to learners because I'm pretending I'm a student right now. So then I click on learners, and let's say I'm looking for how to post a discussion. It's not very clear from the side index menu where to go. Okay, maybe I go to course orientation, overview of tools. Okay, yeah, now I can get to discussions. But if I'm a student and I hadn't been through this before, that's a lot of extra steps or clicks of the mouse that I have to go to just to get to this page. So a best practice instead is to grab the URL and then post a link in your course. So students, boom, can just follow the link and instantly come here on how to complete discussions. And as you can see from the index, there are many other topics here. So anytime you give an assignment or a quiz or a discussion, or you want your students to check grades, or you want them to figure out how to do this or that, go ahead and post the URL link for them in that activity. And better yet, you can even go up again to documentation, learner video tutorials. And there are a variety of tutorials here that you can go ahead and use in your course. So for example, if I wanted to take a quiz, I could go on and then I could simply embed this in my course if I wanted to using the embed code here, or I could provide just a URL link with this content. So we hope this challenge was helpful to get you thinking about the importance of an orientation, but also that your orientation needs to be ready 5 days before the start of the term. If you are all POW, then you are POW with Challenge 6. Mahalo!